Well, I don't know, having hell, because if you look at Captain Flint's original equation, which I've rewritten, rewrote his equation actually. What did he have on that one? Absolute of x minus y minus 1.
One thing I hate about this new wind system, Sammy, is it
I
merges
think
into your truck,
that's
so you have to unmerge it.
I think that's what Captain Flint originally said.
Workbench.
Okay.
Which I think that represents, because what that says is
As if it's got
the absolute of
suicide
x
doors
minus
on this
y is
truck as
here,
well.
and the absolute of x minus y minus 1 is here. And it says if this one is greater than this one, then use the value for on, which is this value here, which is 1 minus x plus y. Otherwise, return x minus y. So I think that represents what he put there. The return should be x minus 1. Well, this one as well. Oh, is the output the same? Oh, we're going to use the exact same value here, so we don't need these. You're just going to pass this through. So you're basically doing that. You're saying, use the one that's greatest. Why the one that's greatest? Wait, no, this is... Yeah. Hang on a minute. That's why I didn't do that, because this is returning the absolute version. See? I knew there's a reason. Because he doesn't have an absolute in his return value. So it says if this one, then return 1 minus x plus y. There we go. Okay, got it? So if the absolute of that one is greater than the absolute of that one, then return this value. No, return this value. If I'm understanding this, you're returning the smallest value. How do you debug these things, by the way? How do you debug microcontrollers in this game? How can you even see what's going on in here? Can you output a log? Lots of testing. Is there a concept of adding a log? Is there a log output, Wyland? Right, so we take this switched value and we're going to send it to the... So the set point's coming from here, isn't it? The desired heading. So that, if I've understood this correctly, that goes into here. And this is our modified sensor value. I've added a screen to do a live log. Can you not output log entries in Lua, Wyland? Is that not correct, do you think?
Is it safe to spawn?
I've got nothing in at the moment.
Okay, that didn't work.
Kind of hard to do a D.
Welcome back, Nutter.
Benji T, thank you for gifting a sub to Flug. Oh, it's D. Head hold. There you go. Should we try it then? Don't think it's going to fit here. So in theory, we can get rid of the PED controller and the threshold thing.
So, Somi, the top tank can hold 10k more than the bottom one.
Yeah, that's probably the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Wait, why doesn't it put a graphic on it? I just gave it a graphic. Okay, first thing is heading hold is active. That goes to whether this thing's active. Next thing is the desired heading is coming from the memory register. The compass sensor is this thing. The desired heading comes out of the stored value. The seat input comes from the pilot axis left and right. And the output goes to the yaw. Did I just use altitude hold, not heading hold? Probably. That would have been confusing. Okay. Can I spawn?
Give me 2 seconds.
1, 2. Can I spawn?
You can just spawn. Yep.
There you go.
Alright.
Oh, chicken. Thank you for 37. Right, okay. Ready for this? And the best thing is when it doesn't work, we'll have absolutely no idea why. We won't have a clue what it's doing. Okay, so I can't operate left and right. That's the first technical issue. If I put a heading hold on, I still can't operate it. Although it does appear to be orienting itself north, interestingly enough. That's interesting. Yeah. I thought I connected it, Wyland. I really did. Pretty certain I did.
There we go. They both hold the same now.
Pilot seat left and right. Oh, wait a minute.
That looks even more confusing, Somi.
I think it's the wrong left and right. I was taking it from the other pilot seat.
You know what? That might actually work better, so me.
Let's have a look at the value coming out of this thing. Let's see what it's telling things to do. I mean, why then? If there was a way of filtering stuff on the screen... Oh, God. That's the thing. I can't get my big... There we go. Why can't it just tell you, warning, there's already something in the hangar bay?
You're good to go. You're good to go.
Thank you, Ivan. All it needs to do is say there is something... Well, who shut the door?
Not me. I'm in the workbench.
Okay.
Not me. I'm in the
Sommy, because
workbench.
somebody just ran over to the workbench, or one of you did.
I'm in the workbench. I'm genuinely in the workbench.
Puppy?
So I'm in the workbench.
Yeah, you were in the workbench, but you wasn't in the workbench. NGT, thank you for the bits. Have we got left and right control? Alright, we've got your control. That's a very good start. Right, test number 1. Let's try the basic test. Let's head it towards the hill there. And then we'll put the heading select in. Gives us a value, looks good. And then we'll turn away. And we'll see if it actually manages to turn us back again. Heading hold. Spins us back, overshoots, keeps going. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Now it's gone negative. Right, so the PID is not powerful enough. I don't think. It's given it a very, very, very slow negative input. Yeah, there's something wrong with the calculation there, because the PID is going towards 0 now, and it's nowhere near heading in the right direction. So I would say the maths is wrong, Captain Flint. We appear to be 90 degrees off target. That definitely tells me there's a math issue. It's no coincidence it's locked on 90 degrees off target. I think there's definitely a mistake in the maths here. Anyway, let's point it towards south and see what happens. Alright. Heading select on that. We'll turn around. Interesting. So if we aim south... Oh, hello. It kind of faces north and then does crazy stuff. Make it stop. Hip Hoppopotamus, thank you for 43 months. I'm fan in Chicago. Hope you're staying safe in the crazy times. I am. Thank you. Hope you are too. South is still an issue. Maybe. There's something wrong with the equation right now.
Wait, why are the hangar door closed?
Well, you saw me fly out.
I don't think they are.
I just spawned and I can't run through them, so they are closed. What are they on your screen, Sammy?
They're closed and the lights are off.
There we go.
They are opening.
I need to add ladders to the other side of this. You can only get on one side.
This will work if x is less than or equal to y. 1 minus x minus y, else y minus x minus 1. That's a very different equation. I don't know why then. The lightning in this game is ridiculous, I do know that. I checked in Excel if it makes you feel any better. Right, so let me have a look at your function. Because it'll require rewriting this completely. So let's save this out as heading hold version 2. Okay. Then we can always revert back. So you're saying if x is less than or equal to y, so you're not bothered about the fact that one can be negative, right? You're just saying if one's less than the other. So I believe in your world you would get rid of this, get rid of this. Let's take this as x. Go on. So you want a less than. So if x is less than y, then we'll use 1 minus x minus y. Otherwise, we'll use y minus x minus 1. All right? So if the switch is on, it'll take that value, which is the less than. So if 1 minus x is less than y, then we're going to use 1 minus x minus y. Otherwise, we're going to use y minus x minus 1. Can someone explain what is indicated by x and y? This is x, this is y. So in this context, our compass sensor, the direction we're pointing versus the direction we want to go. That's what that is. We'll update that so it's on V2. Double check it's on V2. It's on V2. Can I spawn?
Yep.
It's dark in here and the door's closed.
Right, so the lights are on and the hangar doors are open for us.
I was just saying we just...
Okay, so let me just explain what I think happens is if somebody's in the workbench and somebody messes with the lights or doors, they're not synced. I think when you're in the workbench, the game doesn't synchronize what's going on in the world. And so that's how you get out of sync with each other. So to test that theory, let me just do something here. Is the door open for you or not?
The door is closed for me and I can't walk through it.
Okay, what about you, Pups?
hang on, I need to come out the workbench.
Yeah.
Don't spawn.
I'm not. Door is open for me.
Okay, so it's just Sommy. Okay, so Pups, come over here. Sommy, go into the workbench. Are you in the workbench?
What? Paul, did you close the doors?
Yeah.
I never
No,
touched the
that's-
doors, Pups. You said they were
Doors
open.
closed. Yeah, they were open. I ran outside, ran back in, and they're closed.
Yeah. And I think this is it. Paul's game is like missynced with the both of us. So it doesn't matter what either of us
you in the
do or
workbench?
where we currently are. I'm in the workbench. And the doors were closed when I went into the workbench.
Okay, if you come out now, are they open or closed?
I love how they're closing on Paul's screen, but on mine they've just opened.
They're just opening on my screen.
Okay, so you guys are synchronized with each other, but not with me, and I'm the server, so GG.
Yeah.
Let me get my heli out, and then you can do what you like.
And I can walk in and out.
Yeah.
Oh no, the doors are now closing. Hang on. What are they doing for you, guys?
They're closing for me as well. What are they doing for Paul?
Are they
Open.
closed for Paul?
No, they're open for Paul.
They're the opposite of you.
They're stuck halfway at the moment.
That's incredibly loud.
There you go. You can do what you like now.
I'm just gonna leave and rejoin so it syncs back up.
Oh boy. This game. Right then. So, let's try again. Version 2. We're going to point towards the mountain. We're going to do a heading select. We're going to confirm it's read the value. Then we'll do a simple test. We'll face north. So facing north, we'll do a heading hold. And we've gone the wrong way. And we are going back the other way. And we're going back left. And then we're going back right. This is not a heading hold. This is a heading oscillation in the opposite direction.
The lights are on and the doors are open.
I can't remember. Do I go left or do I go right? Hey, do I go left or do I go right? I can't make my mind up. I'm so indecisive.
That's me when I walk down the fizzy drink aisle, Paul, and there's Dr. Pepper on the right.
Is it 180 degree wrong way? I don't know.
Is that the you used to be indecisive and now you're not so sure?
But dumb. Okay. I think you need to look at your Excel spreadsheet, then. Okay, right. So any theory on this? Wyland thinks it's 180 degrees off. If that's the case, maybe you just need to change this to a greater than. There goes your lunch. Or maybe you just swap these inputs around. No, that can't be right. You definitely don't want to touch those.
Right, Sammy, what are they for you?
They were
So-
open and the lights were on before
Okay,
I jumped
so
into the workbench.
Right, it's synced back up. Can you quickly jump out the workbench and sit? Oh, never mind. You are. Are they open and the lights are on?
They are open and the lights are on.
Whoa, we're synced back up.
So if you've got a range, if you're
Thanks,
saying
Bob.
here, your current
There
heading,
you go, Sammy.
your current heading is less than your
Hang on.
desired heading.
Go on.
The problem with that
Go.
is it breaks down when you start talking about south, doesn't it? I'm kind of thinking,
Oh, yeah,
why don't we just
remove
take
light
these
in, check
values
this out,
here
Sammy.
and make them into something we can understand? Because at the moment we're dealing with minus 0.5 to plus 0.5. And I don't know about you, but I think it's hard to think in those terms. So what if we just translate this? You just add 0.5, multiply it by 360, and then you end up with a degree heading. Yeah? And then maybe we can just use that and make some sense of it. So if we take an f of x, we take the input and we add 0.5 and we multiply by 360. It might be reversed as well, Whiteland. What are you on about? The one that we've got at the moment, or compass plus 0.5? Why are you adding 180 degrees onto it? You think the minus and the plus heading values is the problem? A minus x be plus on the equation thrown in out the window. I don't know. Nice paint skills. Why are you adding, in your equation, you're adding 0.5 onto it, which is equivalent. Oh, you're just translating it from 0 to 1. Is that what you're doing? Yeah, if you add 0.5, you're basically adding 180 degrees, if you think about it. Because the range goes from minus a half to plus a half. So if you add a half, you add 180 degrees. But I think what you're doing is you're translating the value. Anyway, so let's run off your little diagram here. So we've now got a degree heading and a degree desired heading. And you're saying if the compass is less than the heading, so the compass is less than the desired heading, which is this here, isn't it? We can use those numbers. I know we have to convert them back, it's fine, but at least we can actually think about this. It'll make no material difference as long as we translate it back at the end. So up here, you're saying 360 minus, so 360 degrees minus the absolute of x minus y, I think. If x is the compass. Yeah, compass is x, right? So 360. So you've taken the difference between the heading and your desired heading. So let's say your desired heading is south. That would be 180 degrees. So let's say you are 200 degrees. So 200 minus 180 is 20. 360 minus 20 gives you 340 degrees. Yeah? So you won't want to be using this value, because this is saying turn to the right 340 degrees. That's what this is saying.
Is that me or is it spinning on the spot?
So this one, hopefully, will give you a better value.
I don't think it's just you. That is, in fact, spinning on the spot.
So this one
What
is...
going on?
Why then? Why have you got -1? Okay, I'm a bit lost on your second one, Whiteland.
Here we go. And you ready?
You've got the
There you
abs
go.
of x minus y again.
It's just the game.
It's just negative to go the other way. So this should be saying go 20 degrees to the left, shouldn't it? Well, I think according to what you've got there, one, you'd have minus 360 minus that. Which, that's not right. That's just not right. Because that would be 200 minus 180, which is 20. So you'd have minus 360 minus 20, which is minus 380. But now what you want to do, can we do a modulus on this, or a div? You basically want to divide that by 360 and get the remainder. Hang on. Modulo. You think it'd be easier to use minus 180 to plus 180 rather than... You sure? I don't know, Whiteland. I think what you've put there is wrong, though. I think your second one, this one, is not right. X minus Y would be 200 minus 20, which is 20 degrees. Yeah, you basically, all you're really doing is you're saying, is it easy to go left or easy to go right? That's what you're basically trying to work out here. So you're either, like, the maximum you can ever be is 180 degrees away. Anything else, and you're either going left by less than 180 degrees or right by more than 180 degrees, or vice versa. That's all you're ever doing.
The anniversary, Nutter.
Can I expand the functions? You want to see the definitions of sine? What? Yeah, Whiteland, well, Aerospike tested it on Excel. It looks fine in a spreadsheet, mate, but when you're in here, it doesn't.
Did you just talk to someone?
I did not. There you go, pups. Jump out of the workbench.
Honestly, this can't be hard. Like, literally scratching our heads over this, and it really can't be that hard. It's just a circle. How hard can this be?
Noise.
I knew I'd have to get a piece of paper out in the end.
So I suppose the thing to do would be weight test it now and see if the thing is just far too heavy for anything.
I mean, do you want me to grab this?
Circles are hard.
Yes, and if you can move it... No, I need to put a winch and stuff on it. Hang on.
Right, so you want to take X. So Y is your desired heading, and X is your current heading. Google says fail, though. So that's converted it into degrees that we can work with. That's fine. So we're going to say X minus Y. So, hang on a minute. X minus Y? All you really want is the delta between the two. You want to say, what is the difference between X and Y? What's the delta gap between them? This should not be hard. Oh my god. V8 Scanny, thank you for 27 months. Don't normally watch unless it's Sunday night tricking, but I thought I'd drop in. Hope you're well. I am well, V8 Scanny. Thank you, mate. Stay safe. You want to normalize it. Now what you want to do is you want to say the difference between those two is the angle between them. Whatever the angle is, it's either going to be easy to go left or right. So if X minus Y is bigger than Y minus X, if X minus Y is bigger than Y minus X, then you want to go to the right, I think. Oh, it could be the other way around.
I'm confused, Paul.
Dude, this is insane.
I stopped listening about an hour ago. I just...
Oh,
the
no,
brain is
this should not be hard. Oh my god. like I look at it and I know it's visually simple, but for some reason in functions it's not.
It's the difference between the value of 1, isn't it?
It's because it wraps round and stuff.
If you grab that, pups.
What?
Got
Not if they're barking like that, I don't. Show you the function block second to last one. Second to last one. There's like 3 of them here. What do you mean that one? I don't know which one you mean.
Oh, you've moved the controls.
Yeah. it's a
List of
totally different
functions on the
backend,
left.
mate.
Oh, this. We can do max floor round, abs sign, square root, length of a vector,
damn.
clamp values.
Yeah.
Welcome
Just jump
back,
in and delete the pivot
Nutter.
and the block.
You
Yeah,
don't need
just
to
the
compare
pivot
them if absolute of x
underneath
minus
the
y
root
is less than
block.
0.5. Use it, else use the other one. I don't think it's that simple, Clive, is it?
And it falls through because it's too far back. That makes plenty of sense. Put the winch
All
out
ears,
on them
Captain Flint. Lava Tube, welcome back.
before the deck comes down so that we can actually get at the right side of the deck.
You're looking for the shortest, they add up to
Why
1.
did it disconnect?
Because I was fiddling
What-
with
what
it.
do you
I
mean
didn't
they
think
add
it
up
was
to
on the
1?
right one. Just
Pippi.
winch out again.
Oh
Right, okay.
yeah. Right, leave it alone.
Right,
So the
let's
temporary
have
brakes
an
are on.
intermission. Let's have a dog.
Yeah.
Right, who's going first out of you two guys? Huh? Just open that. Right, we got Dolly's little
You know it's slow because the brakes are on both.
cheesy
directions,
bites.
but I'd just rather see how it goes up, you know.
Getting it up.
And Pippa's tasty minis. Right, come on. Just come in first.
Yeah.
Come around here. Ah, there we go. Looks like we're getting Doyle first. Hey, pal.
I'm surprised at that.
Hey,
though.
hey.
That doesn't
Let's get the,
particularly struggle with that, does it?
Get the other screen
So you
on.
want to try and get that as far forward as possible, I
Yeah.
think. So,
That's as far as it goes.
There we go.
alright, so brakes,
Brakes
on,
are
yeah.
on. Yep.
Hang on, Pip. Wait a second.
Suspension gone!
Finally getting the idea. Yeah, but Clive, it's kind of complicated by the fact that
Bang!
the number system wraps around.
Well, in theory...
It works.
In theory, that worked.
The boy, yes. If you put a negative number into the rudder, it will go left. There you go. Job done. Pippi, come on.
See, that's strange, isn't it? That on the opposite.
Why
Maybe
is
it's better
he
to
so
do, like-
completely... You just... Doesn't seem to get the idea that in order to get these treats, she needs to come up here. So she stands at the bottom of my seat, and I try to pick her up. She's just out of reach. And she's like, hey, 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 hey. But just out of reach, so I can't actually pick her up. Just not quite got that bit yet.
Hmm.
All I can hear is like puppies giggling and Sammy going, hmm. It doesn't bode well.
I'm sorry.
Right, thank you for popping in. Oh, God. That nearly went horribly wrong.
See, but like that, if you don't put it back, it holds its position.
Oh, she makes it hard work. She thrashes around so much.
No, please
Right,
say
come on,
don't.
Whiteland. What's the answer, mate? What did you say? Something, I'm going off memory now. I think you said
I need
something
to see
like
this one more time.
minus 360, minus something or other. I can't remember. Minus 360. Wait, what? No, Whiteland, that's nonsense.
Paul's coming to reverse the train. So you saw that operation, it worked quite smoothly, Paul, yeah?
No, go back up.
So what exactly was the issue? Just put some weight blocks on the front. Wait. Who's controlling this?
Welcome back, Nutter.
Why is it sliding backwards?
What's going on? Later, welcome back.
Can't keep it together.
Oh, there you go.
Earth, ground floor.
Perfect, fixed. Roll it out.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
I'm not even going to ask what that is.
So you can see now what the laughter was over. Because we were unsure as to what this was actually doing.
Welcome back.
It strikes me that if the platform was lower down, it'd be more stable.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that?
And you need, and for the length of that, you need a much longer wheelbase.
It's got nothing to do with me. Oh.
You need a longer wheelbase and some weights at the front. It's like a skip truck or something. You should use that principle.
I didn't mean to nick that so much.
Well, I need to go on the workbench, but it'll just despawn this if I do.
So me grab
Refric, why are the boys designing a vehicle for transporting a vehicle?
Contraptions.
Refueling truck, I think.
I would just like to point out my refueling truck is absolutely perfect. No, it all works.
So, Whiteland. Have you got a solution or not? 360 minus abs of x minus y versus the negative 360 minus abs x minus y. So you're saying... No, it doesn't look good at all, Wyland. We're basically testing completely different things here. So you're saying 360 minus the delta versus... That's crazy. This one is always going to be less than this one, isn't it? I don't see how sticking a negative on the front fixes that. Can't we use trigonometry to solve this? You're comparing them, not the original angles.
Is it safe to spawn a vehicle quickly?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't believe a room full of people can't solve this problem. You're using the minus 0.5 to plus 0.5. It needs to be a number between 0 and 360. It is a number between 0 and 360. This is what I've got here. I've already translated it. Coming out of this function block right now is
So, do
the
you think I've got enough light?
different is basically these two translated into degrees.
I would assume so.
What do you mean
Hang
the
on, let me
top
just-
one? This one.
Let me just lower this thing down.
I mean, I can do that if that's what you're talking about, but I don't think it fixes anything, to be honest. Whoops.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
But you can't send that output to here. You can't do that. We need to translate it back again. You would need to take whatever comes out of here, and we need to translate it back.
I'll be right back.
So the reverse of that. So you want to divide it by 360 and add 0.5, I think. Subtract 0.5. So divide that by 360 degrees. And then subtract 0.5. All right? Hang on, we added 0.5 and then multiplied it by 360. So we need to divide by 360 and then remove the 0.5. Which is what I'm doing. There's no way this is going to work, Wyland. No way. You know it. I know it. BC, thank you for 34 months. Friday Night Matt.
Not bad.
At least my altitude hold works. Uh-oh. No, not that one. Not that one. That one. I could already see it was doing the wrong thing. Okay. The rock test. Can it survive the rock test? So, altitude select. Face north. It has to get past test 1 first before we even look at south. Test 1 is this. If this works, it should rotate to the right and point towards that rock. That's test number 1. If it can't pass this, it's pointless doing any other. Okay. So it went left and pointed. Okay, it's not finished deciding. It's been indecisive, Whiteland. It's almost like it's crossing that boundary, Whiteland. It's almost like the if statement that crosses the ticker tape boundary between 0 and 360 and goes, ah, oh, ah, oh. Curious that it faces south, though. It ignored the heading and it can't decide what to do. So, doesn't work. We need a yaw damper. Well, why then? That'll just make it oscillate around north. It didn't oscillate around the actual heading that I asked it to.
Right, pups. Let's try this.
No, that can't be right, why then?
Hang on.
You can't just take a value, translate it, and then on the way out, just translate it to something else.
What are we doing?
You need a smoothing.
Mark 6.
The problem is, it's inside the mathematically, it's flicking from one to the other.
Grab it.
The real question, Whiteland, is why did it head south when I told it to head about 045 degrees? Why did it even go for south? A pid with a 101 should do it. Will give you the angle required to reach the desired heading without turning the numbers into degrees. What, you mean this?
Ready, perhaps.
Okay.
101.
Where did it just go?
Just remembered that I hadn't actually saved it, so there you go.
I don't know about 101.
Obviously, the speed of all that can be changed and stuff. You
Yeah.
may not have to go all the way out like that.
Well, if this is the wrong way around, Whiteland, then all we've got to do is that, right? Can I spawn yet?
Yeah, you should be fine.
Desired output. The desired output is to yaw the aircraft so that it points towards the heading I gave it.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Too, I'm glad I made that deck as wide as I did.
Yep. There we go.
Well, that's Captain. Then that's what I think, mate. It can't be right. Right, pointing towards the rock, heading select,
Not laughing.
heading hold engaged.
Well, that was definitely less catastrophic.
Okay,
than-
interestingly, it's trying to point me towards a rock, but it's doing a very crazy
Well, obviously
oscillation.
my concept is that there's going to be a cab built on the front of there anyway.
Yeah.
So
I guess that's some progress.
it was. I didn't know if it was more important to get this mechanism working.
Let's try pointing it towards that rock.
What's the unload?
Heading
button?
select.
Obviously, I know the speed is a bit. Please. Well, it needs a bit of a helping hand getting the pistons going. Okay.
Well, we can soon fix that, Wyland.
And in theory, the rail could actually be 3 blocks shorter now as
Yeah.
well, couldn't it?
Also, what about if you had like some mag alls to the front that drop down onto the
That
ground?
could be good, couldn't it? Retractable gear on
Yeah.
the front.
Like with the mag all on, so it connects to the floor.
The math and the ped are doing opposite of
Like
each
you
other.
can lower it down, it hooks to the floor, and then it wouldn't lift you at all.
Do you like my fake discs?
Well, the PID has to output negative just because of the way the yaw system works, right?
Well, I think that is better.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
There's not enough dampening. I don't... If it's not enough dampening, that would require a higher PID D value, which I don't think is the case. Well, this one, why then? Why do you want to make that negative?
Is that winch slowed right down, or is it just me?
It feels like it's slow, but
I'll
it
just
could
put
just
them-
be the servo.
Can I spawn?
Yeah.